remember just trusting God for it and just kind of forgetting about it. It's mind blowing. There's no better way to say that. He just came through with that particular answer, like just the way I wanted it. And it's just an experience that one will never forget, because it was just so in the moment, so timely, and exactly what you want, you get. Hi guys, it's good to have you back, and if this is your first time here, I'm excited to have you stop by as well, and I really hope you get to do that more often. But I'm super excited about what I want to share with us today. Like, this thought that I want to share, or this experience, has been an eye opener for me. Like, it has helped me very recently. So I don't know if it's just me or if you have experienced it too. A situation where it feels like God answers some prayers faster than others. Like, I'm trying to find a better way to put the question, but I think over time, considering some requests that I usually make and some things that I want to happen to me, or some things that I want for myself, it just kind of felt like God was answering some of my prayers and wasn't answering others. Or I can put it that He was answering some prayers way faster than others. So there are certain things that I know that I asked for. It felt like it was almost urgent, like it was a prayer that needed answering in like that day, within 24 hours answer. And guys, believe it or not, I have gotten such answers. Like, there are times that I needed something that I just know that there's no way for me to, there was no way around it. It had to be that answer. It just had to be the answer that I was seeking for. And I can remember just trusting God for it and just kind of forgetting about it. And He legit came through. Like, it's mind blowing. There's no better way to say that. He just came through with that particular answer, like just the way I wanted it. And it's just an experience that one will never forget, because it was just so in the moment, so timely, and exactly what you want, you get. But then there are some things that I have been asking. It's like the same thing. It's not like different things. This particular thing, and I've been asking, and till now I have not gotten the answer. So I just, sometimes I get tired of asking and I stop asking, and then other times it comes back, like the need for it comes back, and then I start asking all over again, and I'm still yet to get the answer. So very recently I got thinking about it. This just came to my mind, and it was the fact that what makes me think that God had not answered that particular prayer. Like, how do I know that He has not answered that prayer? So it's like, another way to put it is like, how do you know that God has answered a certain prayer you're praying? So for instance, let's say let me see, I want to use a very obvious thing. For instance, let's say you're trusting God to be pregnant, right? So you feel or you believe that the answer to that prayer is you getting pregnant, right? Like, that's the first thing that comes to your mind. The answer to my prayer is that I actually get pregnant. So I'm praying to God for Johnny Mercies. The answer to my prayer is me getting to my destination safely. I'm trusting God to get married. The answer to my prayer is me getting married. I'm trusting God to get a house. The answer to my prayer is me finding myself in a house. Like, so there are a lot of things that are one-ended, like just one direction. The answer has to be that thing, or it's not the answer. I don't know if you're getting me. So if my prayer is to get pregnant and I don't get pregnant at the end of the day, that means God did not answer my prayer. But is it possible that God answered my prayer and pregnancy wasn't what I needed at that moment? Is it possible? Like, have we imagined or thought about it that way? Or maybe he answered, but his answer was that not now. So many times we just feel that if it's not what we want, then it's not the answer. And that was the thoughts that came to my mind. Like, what makes me think God has not answered my prayer? And it's simply because it hasn't happened the way that I want it to happen. So until it happens the way I want it to happen, then it's not answered prayer. And at that moment, it was just like a caution to me, and just like a reminder or something for me to note that answers to my prayers are not necessarily exactly what I want. It's just God doing what is best for me per time, right? Now, this may not apply 100% to all cases, but then there are way more times, more often than not, that this is exactly what applies to it. So I am trusting God for something, and he didn't answer me the way I wanted it to. So I believed in my heart that he had not answered me. So I will keep praying and keep asking for that same thing. And in my own case, it almost felt like I had the answer, like I got the answer, but it wasn't what I wanted to hear. Like, it wasn't the answer I wanted. So I'm like, God, are you sure that's the answer you're giving me? It's like you don't understand the situation. So I tried to explain the whole situation again. I tried to like paint the full picture and be like, okay, so now what's your answer? And then I get the same response, and I'm like, nah, you don't really understand. Okay, let me give you another scenario. And then I try. So it's almost like I'm asking for the same thing over and over again, and I'm trying to force my will. I'm trying to get God to understand the situation as if he doesn't already. I'm trying to get him to understand the situation with the hope that he will change his mind, with the hope that if he changes his mind and does what I want, then he has answered me. I don't even know why I think like that sometimes, or why we may think like that sometimes, but that's just the position we are in as humans. We can only see so much, we can only know so much per time. We're one direction. So that particular fact means that if we don't get our response in a particular way, then it is not a response. But I just believe that that's not necessarily how it works all the time. There are cases, there are situations whereby it's not necessarily black or white. There's most likely that gray area, that gray area where it is not a no, it is not a yes, it's probably a not now, and you'll have to wait, you'll have to calm down first before you eventually get what it is that you're trusting God for. I just hope that this comes as an encouragement to someone that's that one thing that you've been trusting God for, that one thing that you've been asking for, that one thing that it just feels like the answer is not coming, and you feel the answer is not coming because you know the answer you want to come. So the fact that that answer you want to come is not coming is what makes you feel like the answer is not coming. But if you calm down and look at it closely, you will realize, okay, an answer did come, it just wasn't what I wanted. So how about I take a step back and sit down and ask God to help me understand this answer that came, like this answer that I have. It's not really what I want, but okay, this is the answer that has come. How does this work for me? Like, how do I work with it? Like, you get? So most times we need to take a step back and just really understand the answers that we did get. So long as it comes from God, you know that it is a good thing, and you know that it is for your good. So you just accept it and work with it till the time when you eventually understand it. Whatever it is you're trusting God for, just know that doesn't always mean that is the result you will get, but you have to come to a point where you believe that, okay, so long as my response is coming from God, then I must learn to trust that it is what I need in that moment, and it is what is good for me for that moment that I am in. And eventually, when the moment comes for whatever I want, or with time, I might get to understand why I didn't get what I wanted. You get? And I just pray that God strengthens us in our waiting moments, like a moment where we're really trusting and waiting on Him for whatever it is. I pray that He strengthens us and that He helps us to not be blinded by the things that we want, like the things that we're bent on happening. I pray that we don't get blinded by it, but He opens our eyes so that we see every other thing that is available to us, like every other answer that He sends to us, that we will be able to see it and make the most use of it. Another prayer is that no matter what the situation is, we will continue to trust Him. So whether an answer comes, it doesn't come, whether it's what we want, what we don't want, whatever it is, the prayer is that no matter how bad that situation is, it won't push us away from Him. I cannot even imagine some bad situations. Like, I can't imagine them. I can't say that every situation and everything you're trusting God for is so easy and you can wait. And no, I'm not saying it's that easy, but I'm praying that in the midst of all of that, no matter how difficult and tough it turns out to be, we are able to wait, like, and not give up on God. And I'm confident that He will come through for us. That one is not even, that's a done deal already. He will come through for us at any time, every single time. So I hope this blesses you, and I hope this helps you in whatever decision you have to make from now henceforth, or even the ones that you've made before. Have an amazing week, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.